Hey, good morning. Happy Wednesday. As you know, I am bringing back Winning Wednesday. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Wendy Lee with Exit Realty. I am wanting to bring to you today the, I'm always forever thinking thoughts about as I'm driving, going around showing properties, going to meet with clients or preferred partners. I think about the different topics that I think people would want to hear about and talk about. So I wanted to talk today about how to win the bid. Winning the bid is a very important thing today. It is truly a seller's market. So I really need and urge buyers to really be cautious, okay, when submitting an offer. What does it mean to be in a seller's market? To be in a seller's market, you have to realize that when you're in a seller's market, it is what it is. It's the seller. This is a time where sellers shine and have the ability to, to get highest and best dollar for their home. The inventory levels of real estate are exorbitantly low. I mean, low, low. So sellers, this is a great time to come in on board and sell your property and get your best return. So, how to win the bid? You, as a buyer, reach out to your realtor, or of course, I am more than happy to assist as far as being able to help you with getting a market analysis. We're going to verify that the property is worth what it's worth. And usually, what I do is a lot of times clients are online looking at properties and then they're already saying that, I see myself in this house, I've done some research. Do your research, guys. And we don't have the luxury of time where we have days to wait to go see a property, okay? If it's something you like, we've got to act on it fast. So, anyways, with all that being said, get with the realtor, make sure that the home is priced accordingly to all the other homes in the neighborhood. And properties can certainly create markets and set prices in the industry today because, again, the inventory levels are so low that sellers are able to secure a highest and best offer or a highest and best price for their home. So, and I'm seeing also a couple of other things where yes, inventory is low. So, anyways, with the ability to secure the bid, I've been on both sides of the transaction, and where as a buyer's agent, I do my due diligence with a client. I had a deal where last year a home was on the market and it's in a highly desired area, and there were 30 offers presented. Okay, 30 offers presented, and at least 60 people saw the home, and it was literally 15-minute increments. Boom, 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 boom. You come in and see this house, you come in and see this house, you come in and see this house at this time. And did my due diligence. The client liked the home, and they said, you know what, we want to submit an offer. I did my due diligence. We offered 30,000 over. Now you're like, oh my God, $30,000 over. We're seeing deals. I mean, we've seen deals, and this is a sheer frustration that myself and a lot of my fellow colleagues are always enduring every day, where we've seen deals over $20,000 over list price is not getting accepted. Okay, so be very intentional with your realtors out there and in your process of securing a winning bid. This is not the time to play around and say, oh, well, you know what, I'm going to submit $5,000 under list price. You might not have the ability to secure an opportunity or a second opportunity to win or even present a highest and best offer, because there are some agents who don't believe in that process, or their sellers don't want to believe in that process. So then you have to be able to put your best foot forward. What are some of the other things that are happening so that people are getting their home? Just today's Wednesday. So over the weekend, had some showings, and come on Monday, actually, no, on Sunday evening, I had 4 offers presented for one of my listings. And what did these particular buyers do? These buyers, one had the opportunity to reach out, and actually they knew the seller, so they had a little bit of a upper advantage in terms of having a conversation with the seller. One wrote a letter of interest, and if you will, I wouldn't call it a appeal letter, but just basically a letter saying, hey, really love your home, and we love to be able to put our daughter in the school district. We've heard great things about this school, and we would love to be able to secure an opportunity to buy this home so we can also, go into this home and know that a loving family is going into this home. So that appealed to the client. But these warm and fuzzies are great. However, what's really going to be the underlying thing is, now, let me say this, highest and best isn't always, the highest offer may not necessarily be the best offer, guys, okay? Why? Well, again, because we're in such a highly competitive marketplace right now with realtors and buyers and sellers and everything, that again, there are people who are submitting over list price offers. But now the question is list priced offers being are they going to sell at that price? Okay, is it going to appraise? So that's going to be a big question as well. Now, like I said, with the example I did with the buyer that put 30,000 over list price, given the comps in the neighborhood, we truly felt that that home will still end up having equity in the home. Now, is that to say that the listing agent might have underbidded or underlisted the property? I can't say that it's that, but again, sometimes sellers are willing to take a certain price, and that's all they want. Okay, so anyways, again, they wrote a letter. And I was talking about the intangible, like the fuzzy, warm, fuzzy feeling deals. But what about something when it's more tangible? Tangible is what I'm talking about, numbers, okay? So is highest and best always going to be the best, okay? So highest and best may not always be the best because, again, we're talking about evaluation, okay? So we can certainly put as much as you want. And unfortunately, when we're in a multiple bid situation, sometimes we do get a scenario where emotions are erupting, and then everyone's trying to outbid each other, or there are escalation clauses that take place. And escalation clauses are, a form that your realtor or your realtor's office may have that basically sets the stage to hopefully help you secure the bid. Excuse me, guys. So where are my thoughts? Oh, let me make sure my notes are here. Okay, so tangible numbers. Tangible things are numbers, okay? So comparable sales. Are they going to sell at that price? Let's look at, again, tangible things, numbers. Earnest money. If you can put a little bit more earnest money, sweeten the pot a little, that helps. So instead of $1,000 earnest money, willing to offer 2, 3, 4, 5. This listing that I have is over $350,000, and out of the 4 bids, again, one was $4,000. One was $2,000 earnest money, one was 4, and one was even willing to go. One was 5, and the other one was 4, with an ability to go up to another 4 after inspection. Okay, and they were putting out down payments of 20 and 30% down. So we're talking about $100,000, anywhere from $70,000 to $100,000 in earnest money, or down payment, I should say, that they're putting down and financing the rest. So that shows the strength of a buyer. Now, of course, not everyone has the luxury of 20 to 30% down. He's like, Wendy, you're talking about something that's out of my realm. I'm sure that there's plenty of people that are within that realm. However, if you are in a situation, again, you are looking to secure the deal, then strong earnest money, strong closing date, and if you can possibly get your lender to work with you to get yourself basically conditionally approved. Okay, so it's only subject to you appraising, the property appraising, and the inspection. Okay, so these are things that you want to certainly leverage with your lender, so that again, what are you going to do to put your best foot forward to be able to secure the winning bid in getting the home of your dreams. Okay, so um, again, tangible numbers, earnest money, strength of earnest money, a letter of appeal, tangible comparable sales, a strong down payment, a strong closing date. If you can close in 30 days, it's certainly going to be better than somebody, it may be, let me rephrase, it can certainly be better than somebody who is able to close in 45 days. Okay. What else? And oh, that's the other thing with this deal with my clients. The buyers, all of them were willing to take the property as is. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that as is meaning, hey, you're going to take it in any condition. Certainly it's subject to review and subject to be negotiable, where if it's something that's major discovered, then sellers should really consider making those repairs. Okay, guys? So, but the seller doesn't have to do all and any repairs, and that's very key. Okay, because I'm going to have to talk to a client who is really strongly considering not moving forward with a contract right now that is in place, because something like windows, most homes back in the day, I remember I have a girlfriend, all three of the sisters I'm friends with, and they grew up in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home, small raised ranch in the city with an unfinished basement, guys, unfinished basement. And so 3 sisters and mom and dad lived in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. You know, today that's certainly not something that even happens anymore. Okay. But that's my whole point is, with that, basements back in the day, homes were not developed, updated, or even made into living conditions. Basements were clearly spaces for storage. Okay. Attics and basements, they were clearly for storage. Now, today's homes, we're going to see naturally the development of those open spaces that weren't used into living spaces, because hey, it's part of the home. Why not be able to use that space for a home? So anyways, going back to the basement was at again, glass block windows. And so now that the bedrooms are being made in the basement, inspectors are naturally advising and educating a buyer to say, hey, you know what, you got to be careful if you're going to have this space as a living space. Basements were originally used and built back then where, again, it was not living space, it was just strictly storage. And so you didn't need to worry about, if you will, the safety. I mean, sure, safety is always important, but in case of fire, how do you get in and out of that space? So windows were the basic way to get in and out. So anyways, but now this space was developed in this home, and unfortunately the windows you cannot get out of. And there's plenty of buyers who have been able to say, you know, I'm fine with it, I understand the risk, and so I'll have to make my necessary adjustments for whatever it needs to be done. Okay. So hi guys, I have some of my clients that have joined me, so thank you so much for joining me. So anyways, so that basically those 2 things. Again, write a letter. If you're interested in this home, be strong in your offer, be solid in your offer, because you can't be wishy-washy. In fact, that was the other offer in the deal. The offer, one of the offers submitted was the lowest amount, and they came in $20,000 less than the list price. And my client had a bottom line number. And ultimately that they were trying to do $20,000 down under list price. They wanted to close 4 months from now. And normal process is 45 days. So the client's going to take the property off the market for another 4 months. It was 3.5 months. They wanted to close in May so that they can buy this home. So that's not a strong bid, okay, guys. So so that's kind of basically in a nutshell. Be strong in your offer, be solid, be, if you can get that approval letter, not even just an approval letter, let me step back, but a commitment letter that basically says, hey, this buyer has gone through the entire underwriting process, and they have, based off of everything we've researched and done our due diligence, that this buyer is solid and is able to qualify for a mortgage of XYZ amount, 200,000, 400,000, you name it, 300,000, 150,000. They are already approved. It's only subject to the seller, the buyer doing an appraisal, an inspection, and making sure that the condition is in sound condition that they're comfortable with, and the property appraises. So if the property is contract is 250, it has to be able to appraise, and the lender is comfortable saying, hey, this property is worth the 250 that this buyer is buying it for, and we're fine with loaning them the money. And then at that point, it's clear to close. We're going to the closing. Yay. So, but anyways, but before we get to the closing, you gotta win the bid. So in order to win the bid, guys, again, very, very crucial, submit your strong offer. Don't be wishy-washy, because that's where I felt with this one of the offers, because in fact, right after we offered, in fact, the buyer offered a verbal offer. At the end of the day, I've been through that. If I have a buyer that is not providing a solid offer, which is significantly lower, I might want to try to reach out to the seller's agent and say, hey, you know what? Let me talk to you for a minute. I have a buyer who's submitting this offer. Is it even worth writing an offer for? So just have a conversation, because sometimes having a conversation, picking up the phone, a lot of people don't like picking up phones. I just want to be able to pick up the phone and just have the belly-to-belly conversation with the agent, so that, again, it's a relationship that, as you're building relationships with your customers, you should be building relationships with your also colleagues in the industry, because it works way better when you can deal with a agent that you know. And so make it your business to, as realtors who are listening, make it your business to really get to know your fellow colleagues, because sometimes that can certainly help get the deal. I have listing agents that are always reaching out to me and say, hey, you know what? I know you are a go-getter. I know you are someone who's about your business. And I know you will bring me a solid buyer. So you have any buyers for this deal? So when you build up a repertoire of agents, listing agents, who are saying, hey, give me a call, I have this, or send me a link with the properties, and I'm going to go to town and find your property. In fact, one of the clients who watched with me here, that's how we secured the deal. They secured the deal because I knew the agent, and of course, the buyer was very solid. It's not just about my relationship with the agent, but these are all crucial pieces of that puzzle to secure that deal. Okay, so I've won deals based off of, hey, the relationship with the agent, the relationship with the lender. It also helps when you have a lender that is going to be get the deal to the table. So when you refer a lender, if the buyer has no lender that they're using, refer a lender. And then when you have that experience, you can share that with the seller's agent, because the seller's agent's going to like to hear about that. Oh, you know what? This is somebody that they worked with. So they know and have a working experience of how well that lender is going to close the deal, versus somebody you may not know. And not to discredit anybody. Again, this is not to do any of that, but the topic is how to win the bid. So winning the bid is a great relationship with the agent, great relationship with the lender who has a track record of closing deals, and strong numbers, your finances, put the entire package together. It's basically like you're presenting an offer is really a present to the seller, so that how well is this all well packaged and presented to the seller. Okay. So with all that being said, good luck on anybody and everybody's offer. Of course, I am here to help you find you a home. So of course, I love to be able to work with you. I've got probably a handful of people that have been referred to me over the last 2-3 days that I got to sit down and talk to, and a couple of people that have gotten pre-approved. So I am truly vested into your future and into your wealth. So definitely give me a ring. I can be reached at 847-420-5923. Again, 847-420-5923. Wendy Lee, Exit at Home Realty. Have a winning Wednesday. Thanks so much. Bye.